it's not like one of those cool nicknames like AJ or TJ.
Maybe Gordo Light Shoe. Yeah.
I'm sure that's
No, that would offend him. That's the one.
You have to look up in Farmer Joe's Almanac to see when there's going to be a good fence season.
What did we call that stupid thing down the road? Poverty Ben's idiot prediction guide or something like that.
Does sex start in the bathroom too? And he said yes.
Whoa, PK, look at you dirty dog. So I'm a house hunting, treasure finding, beg leg pirate.
Yeah, you found the treasure.
And I found the treasure. But we had to leave treasure nondescript. If it ever comes back, the treasure was a septic tank that needs to be hooked up to a sewer.
Couple blasts from the past there.
You know, it's important from time to time, Steve, to dig into the archives and remember where we came from.
You gotta know your roots.
And where we came from was the pastor who married you and Annette talking about having sex in the kitchen.
Boy, that seems so foreign to me right now.
And
is that something that happened?
No, I believe, now, if my memory serves correctly.
I do remember something about sex starts in the kitchen.
This was one of the dumb class things you had to do to get, certified by this guy.
It was very nice, except for the
passive-aggressive.
Except for the fight about the...
not the crock-pot fight.
Yeah,
it got brought up there.
Yeah.
And, of course, PK sided with your future bride.
He did.
So...
He did.
If I remember right, that was I forget what he was talking about, but I think he was implying for you to begin, cook dinners?
Cook dinner, and
stuff?
then... Yeah, and then Annette will want to have sex with me.
Yeah, and because then you shouted at him, "Does sex start in the kitchen?"
Uh-huh.
And then he said yes. And then here we are, a couple of years later.
Yeah.
With a kitchen baby of our own.
That's right. Oh, how the times have changed.
Oh, man. Old man Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Not as old, but just as old inside Kyle. Just two young, strapping bucks.
Yep.
When this podcast started years ago.
Just a few years removed from when we'd be out on the town looking for babes, leaving notes on receipts.
Catching.
Like you banging.
Waving at all the fly honeys from our rolled down car windows.
Yep. And now look at us.
A generation passed, Steve, so...
Now look at us, a couple dads.
Let me be the very first to say congratulations, Steve.
Thank you very much. Can't be said enough.
Just soak them in, because, you're going to have a lot of people coming by now, saying, oh, congratulations. And I need you to say that.
No, can't be said enough.
To every visitor.
Thank you very much. Can't be said enough.
Thank you. And then actually, if they come up and shake your hand, maybe they give you a pat on the back. When you move your hand, just look at your hand for too long and assume that, they were going to give you a gift of cash in that hand.
Wonder where it is.
And then go, did you forget something?
It's weird. Did you do that thing where you tuck it in between your fingers, but like a 50 if you're trying to get a good seat at the restaurant, but instead of letting go of it, you probably just accidentally took it back. Let me see your hand again. What? There's nothing?
Because that's how visitors work.
Yeah, especially for me with my rich Italian heritage.
Yes, you just assume monetary gifts will be given. The
perfect gift is A, a stack of cash, or B, some type of pasta dish. So, I've had a lot of people stopping by the house.
Yeah.
Not one pasta dish yet.
No pasta, no quiche. Time to rectify that on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if you want to get in the good graces of Steve E. Tortellini.
Yeah, not Stevie.
And baby Tortellini.
Mm-hmm. Little junior girl Tortellini.
You go the extra mile and make some effing tortellini.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Preferably don't and just bring cash. I mean, it's easier.
A little bit of grease.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to make tortellini.
No, yeah, you bring it over. What do sticky note instructions on the top of it? And get out of here. Yeah, they just drop you the raw pasta. Oh, yeah, here's a make-your-own tortellini kit. Yeah, okay, over my shoulder into the garbage with this thing.
When Reed was born, I brought you guys a pasta dish. Did you throw it out?
No, it was so good. We had it for like 4 meals.
It's rather dense.
It was. Listen,
like you can cut a piece that's 2 inches by 2 inches, but it's like 5 inches deep.
Yeah,
and it's pretty dense.
If you have an E. Tortellini family lasagna dish, you're in for the long haul. Okay. Now I don't know if this was the family lasagna recipe passed down for generations.
This was Googling easy lasagna recipe.
Well, maybe next time if we decide to have child number 2, maybe some of that brajol would be.
Oh boy,
if you could whip some of that up.
Yeah,
quick.
You'd like that.
There's no question. Yeah. I feel, and I know we've talked about this. I feel like I'm part Italian, even though I'm not Italian whatsoever. I feel like
there's no Italian.
Not that I've seen. I did one of those DNA things. And we'll get one of those for your daughter, too.
Just to make sure she's mine?
Got to make sure. Already taller than you.
Yeah.
Congratulations again, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Can't be said enough. Thank you very much.
And it's more generic than I thought. So it shows like, Eastern European, but it does narrow down like some generic percentages to countries. But yeah, I didn't see any Italian in there.
That had to be disappointing.
It was a little bit because... the brash attitude, my appreciation for pasta. I thought I was in.
Your love of The Sopranos, no doubt.
Oh, no question. The Godfather.
Yeah, you thought for sure that you were going to find an Uncle Vito in there somewhere.
There was a little while where I slicked my hair back.
Must have been a while ago.
Yeah, let's call it 10 years ago.
Did you do that? Did you have the slick back
So
hair?
I did this. There's still a picture, and let me dig it up, and I will post it to our social media, I promise. There is a picture of me, and I was growing my hair out. And at that point, I even knew. I was like, it's kind of the last gasp. Let's see how it looks.
So what age are we talking here?
It had to be early 20s.
Okay.
Early 20s.
Early 20s, you were already... Yeah. It was already like...
I mean, you can tell. When a hairline's receding or thinning, you can kind of tell.
Is your brother...
No, full head of hair.
Really?
Dick.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I apologize. That's not Steve.
You do not talk about Robert like that.
And I remember, it was a job ago, and I would wear a hat most days to work, and I remember it was hard manual labor, so I would sweat, so I'd pull off my hat, and I remember I would slick it back.
Let those luscious locks hang down.
But it looked like a villain from Law and Order, SVU. I was a trench coat away and some, hairspray.
Can you do a comparison to when I grew out my Bradley Cooper hair?
Oh, we can do a side by side.
Yeah?
I'll find my picture. It's on my Facebook. I'll dig it up. We'll post that because, yours looked better because yours is more complete in the front. Now mine, you can't see the front because I was wearing a hat, but you can see the locks in the back.
There's one picture. I don't think I ever posted it. That was from probably a couple weeks before I cut the Cooper hair, and it was like I got out of the shower one morning, and it was like. It was just perfect. It looked so perfect, and I just wanted, to capture time in a bottle.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. God. Wasn't that perfect? But the thing is, 2 minutes later, it dried out, and then it got all fluffy.
I gotta tell you, looking at that right there, you're 80% of the way to hanging yourself in the garage. Spoiler alert.
Fed my dog a nice steak dinner.
Oh, God. The worst. So while we did banter there, I was able to pull up my DNA composition.
Okay. What do you got?
0% Italian.
I can't think of anything more disappointing.
Katie's is on. We did it. We sent both of ours in on one account.
She got a little Italian.
0.6%. She's more Italian than me.
0.6.
She could live without. Now she could do without Bruce Springsteen. I don't even think she's seen The Godfather. Where are we in this world where I'm begging to be Italian, and she's. I don't even know if I went to her today, if I went home and I said, leave the gun, she would not be able to finish that statement properly.
So she would not say, take the cannoli?
No. Oh. You know what? Now that I think about it, she probably wouldn't even like a cannoli, Steve.
What kind of animal?
You have to be a jerk. And I'm talking to you directly, Nikki. To not like a cannoli.
Oh. Especially just after a day of eating complete garbage.
So I come in at 50.2% French and German. So they lump that in into one, which is no surprise. My last name mixed with everything,
Going back to your wife, 0.6% Italian, you said?
Yeah, 0.6.
I wonder what that equates to in the real world. I need to know, is it your great step uncle was 1% or something, and somehow
so it'd be what, a little less than 1/150th, so that's 1/132nd. So you'd have to go back how many generations to get to that to have an Italian grandparent. But for her, it's impossible to find out. Her mother was adopted.
Oh, okay.
So unless it's on her father's side,
sure,
we wouldn't even be able to find out. But somewhere
out there,
there's a mobster.
I think that this needs to be our next
investigation.
Our next big trip is to find your wife's Italian heritage.
Oh boy,
out in the world somewhere.
We're going to end up in Italy doing this, you think?
Of course.
I mean, that's the only thing
we have to trace them back to the motherland.
Yeah. Even if they live in Newark.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Skip
doesn't
them.
matter.
Yeah,
yep.
we need the first generation, or we need the last generation in the old country.
Yeah, we're bypassing you. So what does that make my son? Does that make him 0.3? Are we? I mean, if we assume half.
Yeah, I would guess so.
So a little over 0.25%.
Yeah, because my mom is half Italian, 50% Italian.
Yeah.
So I'm 25%.
Yeah. Oh man,
I think we got to go.
We need to go to the motherland?
Yeah.
Man. But back to the hair, I would just slick it back.
Okay.
But it wouldn't grow in like yours. You get where it kind of falls over the front and the sides of your temples. Mine wouldn't do that, obviously, because it wasn't growing that far enough forward. So it was more of a straight slick back, which honestly looks like the Russian mobsters that you see.
Yeah, kind of.
In movies and stereotypes. So I would have fit that stereotype. But that was the last attempt for me at growing my hair out. Apparently I got 12.5% Scandinavian descent.
Boo.
Yeah, what is that? Does that mean I'm a Viking? Would that be
that's kind of cool then. Yeah, I take back my boo.
Don't want to sick my ancestors on you. So you're a quarter Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Does Annette have any Italian?
No. She actually just did one of the ancestry things. Yeah.
Did she really? Oh, so this is exciting.
She just sent it in last week. Because a guy that she doesn't work with anymore, but it was his last day working with them, and for some reason he had brought in a few of them, and he gave them to a couple of the people
very nice.
that worked there, because he was a high school kid, graduated high school a couple of months ago, and now he's off to college.
Yeah.
And just a super smart, talented kid. And it was funny, he actually did over the course of the last couple months, he was teaching Annette and one of the other women the other woman that works in the shop.
Sure.
He was teaching them young cool kid lingo.
Oh, good. So, are we still in the on fleek era?
Yeah. So,
we are still there. Okay.
So he was teaching them that, and then his last day, he came in and he gave them a quiz. Like, he made them fill out a quiz, and then they ended up getting... he gave them those Ancestry DNA kits. So Annette just sent hers in. So I don't think she has any Italian.
No, it takes, I think, like 6 weeks.
Does it really?
But maybe. What if she's more Italian than you? What if you find out she's like 38%, and you've been like, we need a new shirt because Stevie Tortellini's dead, and it's now Annette E. Tortellini, and it's just Annette with a baby holding the same pizza box and a mustache, of course.
Yeah, of course. With a little speech bubble that just says gabagool.
From the baby.
Yeah.
From the baby,
because I'm assuming that is my now born daughter's first words.
Now, why are you not hesitant to do one? You just haven't. That's not. It doesn't.
No, I just never. Yeah, my dad has done a lot of He's retired now, so his hobby is working on the family tree. So I think I'm not, because there are a couple different websites for it. I think he uses Ancestry.com.
Okay,
but
yeah, there's multiples now.
Yeah, but I mean, like I could go on there and pretty much figure out
your tree.
What I am, because I'm on his family tree.
Sure.
But he's traced our family back like hundreds of years.
I've done the same on Ancestry. I've got my family traced way back. My brother and I were very disheartened years ago to find out that we had some, I'd have to look for it, but it's a crazy distant relative, obviously, that are Canadian. And I want to figure out a way to renounce that portion of my heritage. And maybe hand that over.
Not a fan?
Maybe hand that over to either the French-German portion. Maybe I can buy in. Can I buy into Italian? That's kind of the motto of the Italians, right? I could kind of buy a chunk.
Yeah, if there's a nationality that you can buy into, it's Italian.
Yeah, just a little, again, and we talked about this a little bit ago, grease the wheels a little bit.
Yeah. $50 bill in between the...
Yeah, next thing you know, you're 0.2% Italian. At least as far as the Ancestry site's concerned.
Sure.
Solves the problem.
Because we need to know someone who works at one of those companies that can like fudge the numbers a bit.
So, Steve, it's been just under 2 years since you were married.
Yes.
And as you heard in that intro, the hearkening back to the days of PK, Pastor Kent, who you seek his guidance almost weekly basis. Catch up. Talk about, make sure he still confirms the marriage, still endorses it.
Yes.
Attending the services weekly right before we podcast.
Yep.
Is there anything on either side of your family, and feel free to not answer at all, we didn't talk about this before, where it's going to be like a push for now for baby girl Steve and Annette. And we're not saying her name because, spoiler alert, you have to stay tuned to next week.
Yeah. That's the true podcast model.
This is how we finally build those numbers back up. Steve has confirmed with us at the very first announcement of his baby girl's name. And again, congratulations, Steve.
Thank you very much. Can't be said enough. Thank you.
Will be unveiled on this very podcast.
Right. Yes, my baby girl, who has no doubt been born.
Yeah.
Officially is part of the world.
Yeah, normal to big size.
Yeah.
Labor was easy to hard.
Yep.
And Annette went from the hospital home to the hospital and home. And so everything's good.
Yep. Baby is right upstairs sleeping.
Yep. Get out of here, cat.
That was a baby.
Get out of here, baby. Shouldn't be crawling yet.
Yep.
So, is there anything on either side of your families that at some point in the next few years is going to start questioning and imply, are you going to get her, maybe baptized, or are you going to have her go,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what are the options? So, baptism, is that straight Catholic?
I think so, because there's baptism, but then there's also christening.
Right, and isn't there like confirmation, or is that older?
Confirmation, because like I had my confirmation when I was in 8th grade, I think. And that's
okay, so that's down the road.
Yeah, that's confirmation is when you, at least in the Catholic Church, I don't know if any other religion has confirmation. They may all have them.
Right.
But I know in the Catholic religion, it's when you are recognized as an adult member of the church. So you go from being a kid to being an adult.
Gotcha. So you think in years, at some time, this will be a discussion had.
There will definitely be questions of, so should I book a flight to come out for the baptism?
Could be anybody. You didn't say who.
Could be anybody that could be flying in from New Jersey.
You didn't say who.
Yeah.
So would that be for you guys, a shrug of the shoulders and a let's just do it to get it done? Or would that be I really don't want to do that thing?
No, we've talked about it a bit, and
crawling back to Pastor Kent, looking for verification on...
I don't know how much time we got. Because he said he was going to retire soon.
Sure.
No,
he'd probably come out just for you guys, right?
Sure.
Memorable couple.
Come out of retirement.
He's still sitting around his Sunday family dinners, regaling, nieces and nephews with the one crass man who talked about having sex in a kitchen. That's the way he remembers it.
I don't know. I think... Let's see, if I had to put odds on it, I bet more likely yes than no.
Okay. Now, with your upbringing and with your religious background, and me saying that knowing what it is...
Deeply religious background.
Are you guys going to do God, parents, things like that?
I don't know. We've also talked about that, and we don't want to do it just to do it.
Right.
Because that's like what you're supposed to do. We're kind of taking the same approach to this as we did to the wedding, in a sense, where it's like we're not going to do things just because
other people have done it.
Other people have done it, and this is how you have to do it. If we don't want to do something, we're not going to do it, and we're not going to explain it to anybody.
Now, do your nephews have godparents?
I'm one of my nephew's godparents.
I don't know if I like that.
Why not?
You're already an uncle.
Yeah.
Give that to someone else.
Look, man, they asked. I said yes. I was like, cool. Count me in.
Jesus, Mike.
Party? Yeah. Cake? Sounds good. I'm in.
Not like I changed my number, Mike. You could have asked.
I believe this may have predated you and my brother's newly kindred spirit brotherhood.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your brother, still have yet to ask him, but at any point now going to be a fixture on Sports Tape. As soon as I
thought you were going to say you still haven't asked him, but you're planning on asking him to be Reed's godfather.
Oh, yeah. I just got to send him the card. That's how you ask, right?
Is that how you do? You send a card?
A 50.
Yeah, 50 and a plate of lasagna.
A 50, a thing of lasagna, and then kindly, include some return postage to send the tray back.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it's not disposable.
It would be rude to not send a self-addressed lasagna tray when offering pasta.
Well, I'll be curious because that's exciting. We thought about it, but when I was researching a little bit about what godparents are historically known for and what, the purpose of them, its meaning had a lot more than I was comfortable with handing out to anybody.
Yeah. I'm a godfather to two kids.
What are you doing here? It's like a second job, isn't it?
I know. Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be, I don't know, like bringing them to altar boy class or something? How does that work? What do godparents do again?
They're the spiritual leader for that child.
I anxiously await the card in the mail and the 50 burger from you.
Right.
Asking me.
Okay.
And maybe Kate, I don't really care. To be godparents.
Yeah, would you be insulted if we asked Katie to be the godmother?
Oh my God.
And then not you to be the godfather?
I'm actually trying to think of something more insulting. And at the moment, I don't think I can.
So if we gave Katie the most beautiful tray of lasagna,
and a card
with a little Post-it note on it that said "for Katie only," especially not for Kyle.
That heathen,
yeah,
and then obviously a card
and a card, yeah,
and a 50
and a 50.
Italian culture. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's normal for me. It's how I grew up.
Is your question, would I be offended?
Yeah.
I feel like I've succinctly answered it. Absolutely.
Would that end this podcast?
I mean, it's got weeks left anyway, so I think I just sit here.
You hang on for the next.
Well, I think I sit here with animosity. So, like, any type...
So you just block everything?
Like, a noticeable change in tone for the last few months of this thing that people actually notice. But then, they'll tweet at us, Facebook, hey, everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah, why?
But really, it's just you sitting over there, riffing about, again, things that naturally come up, like a one-legged pirate who lies about treasure in a home.
Just to sell a house.
Yeah, and so you're sitting there, you're laughing at this idea and this image you created, and I go, yeah.
Yeah, real funny.
Mm-hmm. What's next? The day you hear one of us say something, like, in stone cold silence, something like,
yeah, what's next?
Know that we have now had our first ever behind the scenes issue. But for the sake of continuing a streak that is purely meaningless...
Yeah, 160 or 150 some weeks or whatever.
We have decided to continue. That's more than 3 continuous years.
Yeah.
3 continuous years without missing a single episode.
Yeah, it would have been right around this time 3 years ago.
Yeah. And that has now traversed 2 births, 3 Christmases.
Yeah.
Multiple vacations.
Yep.
Near death.
Not together.
No, good God, no. I think anything worse.
Yeah, I think an hour and a half a week is plenty.
Jesus, this thing stretches into 2 and I'm sweating.
Remember that time?
Staring at those egress windows, wondering if I could squeeze out.
Remember for that couple week period where we were hitting 2.5 hours a week?
Yeah.
That was when you had your bum leg, right?
We had a 2 hour and 53-minute episode. That's our high water mark for a live episode.
That was probably a 4-hour day because typically you get to the house, we BS for a half hour.
Yeah.
Then we start recording. Then we BS for another half hour afterwards. Why don't we just start recording the minute you walk in the door?
Yeah. We should make this
really juice those numbers.
Really a strictly business relationship.
Yeah. Like we talked about recently, Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
They're business partners.
Yep. They know each other.
No problem. No friendship. Sounds good to me.
Which is insane to think about. Partnership for decades now, right?
I could get into it.
Hell, you already got 1 in the morning. Let's like we talked about, just you. Well, and that's not even a real relationship. How do you communicate with 4 monkeys? Just
4 poop throwers.
You try to come in and have hey, how's your guys' weekend? You end up with a mouthful of turd. No way you can keep that up. So I could see why that you would want more of that on your weekend existence as well.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice way to live.
So here we are, Steve. You're a new father.
Yes.
A lot of new things coming up.
Oh, so many.
I've given you recommendations. I talked about it on recent episodes about how to handle the hospital and some of the Italian way to eat, if you will.
Some of the advice we took and some we didn't.
That's the way parenting goes.
Yeah.
Now we've talked about, the parenting adventure. You're going to begin with your daughter in the room, in the crib. Now, do you have intentions of getting up with your wife? Have you done that?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, the baby is X amount of days old at this point.
Yep.
And been waking up every 3 to 7 hours with said baby girl.
Boy, a lot of dancing.
Yeah.
On this.
I don't want to get too specific.
Yeah.
Not until next week.
Yeah, next week's the big one.
Yeah.
Where we unveil
we're just priming the pumps here.
You want length, you want weight, you want name.
Yeah.
You're here in 1 week.
Yeah.
Subscribed and downloaded.
1 week. Next Tuesday.
Boy, we should have done
7 a.m.
We should have done a pool, by the way. A listener pool.
We can still do it.
For the guess. Now, how does that work? Do you just guess the birth date and time?
You have to guess date and time.
Okay, what are we giving away, Steve?
Well, seeing as how baby has already been born.
Well, yeah, but nobody knows the details yet.
That's a good point.
So, we just...
But they also don't know that this contest exists yet.
A lot of hoops. A lot of hoops to jump through. I get it.
We can get... Maybe we'll hop in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah. Now, one thing, a couple of recommendations for me, Steve. You said you're going to get up, which is smart. That's smart, at least for a while. Make sure your doting bride and new mother doesn't need anything. I would always recommend get her a glass of water, maybe a snack. Now, breastfeeding is known to drain physically, like some the nutrients in the mother's body. Maybe a granola bar.
Oh, I love granola bars.
Pack
Perfect.
like crackers.
I will. I can eat granola bars all night long.
Just sit there at 3 a.m.
So I guess I'm confused as to how me eating granola bars is going to help her. But hey,
listen, man, I don't write the books. I went through the classes. I'm trying to pass on the knowledge to you.
I appreciate that.
That's it. I'm just looking for ways for you to maintain a healthy relationship as things inevitably go awry.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night here.
Now, being you've been a father for nearly 1 year.
Correct.
What is the one nay? What are the 5 top pieces of advice that you can give?
Boy, oh boy. 5? Just dive in.
No particular order.
Sure. Just dive into the diapers.
Dive into the diapers.
There's no sense in playing the pawn it off game.
Okay.
It builds up goodwill, and it's good, And honestly, it's more fair, especially in the situation where Annette's breastfeeding. She's the one getting up, and it is more bothered and time-wise. So, if you smell a diaper or you can tell a diaper, just grab it, change it, be on your way. Just do it. It doesn't do anybody any good, to move on. I would say to another piece is to not watch the nerves, but, man, you're going to be treating everything like it's 100-year-old glass. And that's necessary to a degree. But also, it's a living, breathing thing that survived a birth.
Yeah, they're fairly resilient.
They're fairly resilient. Now, I'm not saying go see how she survives in the woods on an overnight camping trip.
Throw her in the dryer.
But, letting, Toby and Lola get some licks in and get some sniffs in, it's good. It's good for everybody.
All right.
It's very good for everybody. A little later on, so this isn't as much newborn advice, I'd start trying foods as early as you can.
Okay. What should I be trying?
Good point. Phrased poorly. For you, I'd argue...
Maybe some more vegetables.
Maybe add some green veggies to your diet.
Yeah. More roughage.
Yeah. No, but very helpful to start introducing different solid foods and different
like
foods.
Hot dogs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mac and cheese.
Steak?
A little steak cut out, just anything burnt or anything, you just cut off the tough part.
Oh, so give them the burnt part.
Yeah, and then you eat the succulent red bloody death.
Yeah, I usually just feed that to the dog, but now I got a baby for that.
Another piece, Steve. Make sure to get out of the house.
Okay.
Where
are we going?
You got a decent sized house. Not what I'm implying. You will go crazy if the 3 of you and 2 dogs sit here day in, day out, and just go for a walk.
When was the first time you left the house with Reed?
Well, it wasn't long. I want to say it was a week. We had, and this was a lot earlier than most everybody does, and I'm not trying to act like I was ready for it or anything. But I'm also very selfish. And I've talked about this last year that I really wanted Katie to be like 14 days late so I could go see the new Halloween movie on opening night.
Yep.
Well, she wasn't. And we missed it by a day and a half.
Oh, God.
So, but that following weekend, so it would have been, he was like 10 or 11 days old. We took him to my parents' house for a couple hours, and then we went and saw Halloween. But leaving the house with him, I think it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because, you have your stroller and you just car seat, whatever, and you obviously make sure it's covered with any type of weather and wind and cold because they're pretty susceptible to that. It's good. experience, new things. Let them see things. Let them, be outside of just the stasis that you have in this house.
We've already taken her to the zoo.
That's good.
3 times.
Petting portion, right?
Yeah.
Really got her in there with the goats.
Yep. Yeah.
The pigs.
Threw her in, let her swim with the...
You put the little quarter in the machine
ducks.
and let her get some of that feed.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Feed for the chickens.
Yeah.
Smart.
Come on, that's what it's there for.
Build up those immunities.
Exactly.
Because you don't need vaccines.
No.
And that's the next piece of advice.
Vaccines are for the weak.
Yeah. And another thing, I think it's common what they say, and you hear about it a lot. Try to sleep when she sleeps during the day.
No problem.
It won't be as much because you'll notice those first few weeks are obviously the newest, and they are hard. But there's also a lot of sleeping involved, which takes a little bit of the onus off you, because when they're sleeping 18 to 20 hours a day, there's not that much to do,
Sure. While they're sleeping.
Yeah. But it's very important because, in later months, 8, 10, 12 months, you're going to want to do that more than ever. Is sleep when they sleep. So I would recommend doing that. I think that's 4 right there. Is that 4 pieces of advice?
I think so.
Boy, on the spot, I'm trying to think
I'm pretty impressed.
Trying to think of a 5th one real quick here. One thing that everybody needs to work on, I think especially new parents, when baby goes down for a nap or anything, supposed to put them right in the crib, man.
Boom.
Crib or, rocking, whatever, sleeper thing, know?
Yeah.
On their back.
Yeah, we have like 5 of them now.
Yeah, I noticed. Because they're building up a baby collection.
Me too.
But I think it's important. Otherwise, in months, there's an over-reliance, and the only way they'll fall asleep is if they're used to sitting in your arms or in Net's arms and being rocked and whatever. That's the only way they can comfortably fall asleep. So it's important, if they do fall asleep that way, they need to get used to...
So distance myself from my child as quickly as possible.
You actually should look into getting an apartment.
Okay.
For her.
Baby?
Yeah.
Okay, so she just lives there.
Studio. Doesn't need much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she just needs a job.
Yeah.
She can pay the rent. No big deal. I got this.
But yeah, I mean, again, I think the shock and awe of the first few weeks, they're real, but it's a bit overrated.
Oh yeah, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm in it right now. Being that my baby was born X amount of days ago.
Yeah, X days. Which again, I apologize. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Can't thank you enough. Can't be said enough.
So, yeah, just a few pieces. And again, I'm here for you guys, Steve. Katie is as well.
You going to babysit?
She...
babysit tomorrow? We want to go out to a movie.
Can I come?
No, you're babysitting.
Ah, damn. I'll see if my parents are free.
You think your parents would babysit my baby?
There's no question.
Really?
Katie's parents would babysit your baby. There's no doubt in my mind.
Sweet. All right, cool.
It's the easiest answer I could ever give you. The sweetest people on the planet, my parents and her parents.
I love your parents. They're fantastic.
They are at beck and call in terms of babysitting and watching Reed for a few hours at a time here and there.
Do you think... Now, what if I approached your parents to babysit on Friday night, and you approached your parents to babysit on Friday night? Do you think they would pick me over you?
Oh, no question. I would be asked to see if her folks could do it. Yeah, I think I'd be put out to pasture there. I think I would be the definition of second fiddle if that came about. Now, and again, I know I'm asking this in a weird tense, Steve, but you worried your baby's ugly?
I was very worried before she was born.
Is that something that you can see and have a discernible eye? And even though, again, it doesn't matter because you love the baby to death, but as a new parent...
And they'll probably grow out of the ugliness, right?
Are new parents able to take a step back and go, well, not the most handsome newborn?
Well, we'll get him on the next one.
Or is it just? Are you just kind of blinded no matter what?
I don't know.
Because I think people have that mentality with dogs. Now we got lucky and you got lucky because I think Like, I knew Lola when she was a puppy and Toby.
Yeah, between the 4 dogs that we have, we have the 4 most attractive dogs in the world.
But I see people and I see comments on social media.
Oh, those ones with like the underbites and the teeth that stick up at a bunch of different angles.
And just matted fluff around all the faces. Oh my God, look at how cute. I'm thinking,
no.
Oh my God, put it under a hose.
You want to waterboard the dog?
I don't care. Get the grossness away from it. Disgusting. I'll be curious. I wonder that. Like, our parents able, and you're never going to be like going around telling your, yeah, she's an ugly one, but
well, she had me as a parent, so the deck was already stacked against her.
Didn't really stand a chance.
No.
Oh, man. Steve, I did want to ask you one thing before we close up shop.
Yes,
late.
Yeah, exactly. Short episode because, I mean,
babies.
I got parenting to do upstairs.
You heard her.
Yeah.
That was. I don't want to alarm you. I think there's a cat with mange somewhere in your vents because.
I don't know. Yeah, that's it's my beautiful baby girl up there, who is now born.
In case you're wondering, Steve does not have that discernible eye. Then, want to get that racket looked at? God Almighty! There was something that came up on this show, and it's come up in our personal lives and off air. We've talked about it in passing for a while, and now the time is near. As we enter an era where WWE is going to be doing televised events. Now, typically, they're on Mondays and Tuesdays for Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night SmackDown. They are moving SmackDown, Steve, to Friday nights.
Finally. Now, SmackDown used to be Thursday nights.
He taped on Tuesdays.
Yeah, for the brief period of time, a couple of years when I watched wrestling when I was in college. So we're talking 99 to 2002, probably. Right. It was Raw on Monday night. It was Monday Night Raw, and then SmackDown aired on Thursdays.
So they're moving it to Fridays. It's going to Fox Television, Network Television.
Oh, look at that.
And I asked you this when this news broke a little over a year ago, and I'll ask you again today. Mm-hmm. As you look into your either cat with mange's eyes or baby daughter's eyes... Busy, are you still interested? Will you still come with me to a Friday night SmackDown event when they're in town?
There is nothing I would like to do less.
Hell, we've closed up shop on that topic.
No, I'm in. I'm definitely in.
I think it'd be a joy.
Wait, so it's recorded...
It's not recorded anymore. It used to be. When it was Thursday Night SmackDown, it was recorded on Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
So now it's a live?
It'll be, and it's been live on Tuesdays for a while, but with Fox, they already have programming. So I don't know right now. I'll have to look at the schedule. Usually they come around once, maybe twice a year, and it's been a little while since they've been here, Steve.
Big Show's still around?
He's alive. I don't think he's wrestled in a couple. Anymore? I don't think he's wrestled in a couple of years.
Okay. What about Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley?
They're in a different... Well, one retired and is working behind the scenes for WWE. The other one still getting hit in the head with chairs for another organization.
Okay. So I'm over 3 at this point already.
Okay. Terry Funk? You want to ask about Terry Funk?
No, I believe he's dead, right?
Nope, still alive.
Okay, 0 for 4. Look at that. Wrestling, not my forte.
But you're in.
I mean,
you and I, we're gonna go. We'll sit wherever.
Yeah, we need to make signs.
Yo, we're making posters. We're buying merch.
Yeah,
you're wearing some of their obnoxious gear.
Oh yeah, what we're gonna do? We're maybe a month out. Mm-hmm. We will we'll pull up the WWE website.
Yep,
and just play a game of like random merch roulette.
Yeah. So
I may be wearing like a rowdy Ronda Rousey tank top.
Yep, and she's at home, pregnant with a kid.
Right.
But you got your rowdy Ronda kilt on. And you're cheering for her to come on out.
How about the Bushwhackers?
Ooh, alive. I think. What a dumb gimmick. But you're in. You and me sitting wherever we buy tickets.
Yes. I want to
middle
buy...
of the arena.
Okay, and what is the... Like, what's the cost if you want to sit ringside? A couple $100, right?
So it depends because they sell packages ringside that are, where the camera faces.
Don't care about that at all.
Those are expensive, like $400, I believe. I'm
there for the experience of watching the event. I don't care if I'm on TV or not.
So if we want first row is probably $100.
Close.
Okay.
First 10 rows.
I've sat first 10 rows on the floor for a television event for less than $100.
I am so in.
So I think we find that nice sweet spot where you and I can be on the floor, close enough that people can hear.
Yeah.
Wrestlers, I mean, when we insult them.
I don't care about any of the other mutants there.
Oh, boy, they are. Well, we talked about those pictures 2 or 3 years ago.
I think we need to dress up as a tag team.
Oh, yeah. Done deal. I'll buy tights.
I'll be Bubba Ray. You be Devon.
You shave my legs, I shave yours.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, no, I'll be Devon.
All right.
Yeah. Face paint's cool, right?
Yeah. Totally cool. I'm sure it would go over well.
Okay, that's it. Okay, that's what I wanted to ask. Because at some point in the next, I'm guessing 6 months, Steve, they will be here in our town on a Friday night, making it so you can come with because you don't have to work.
All right. Yeah, I'm in. I think we have to get in touch with our old buddy Dr. Stupid.
See if he'll come along?
Yeah, because he was always he was always really interested in going to the...
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in. Maybe we make it a mini...
reunion.
Mini reunion?
Yes.
I know I've gone to a wrestling event with Rolling Thunder. Maybe he can make his return.
Yep.
He's in Wisconsin now.
Okay.
White Lightning himself, TJ.
The Quiet Storm.
Quiet
Storm. Is he still working in TV?
Yep, over in, he just moved to Green Bay.
Oh,
Cheesehead country.
For him. I mean, Green Bay is fine. Like, it seems like it's okay during football season, but
terrible radio market.
The rest of the year, there's nothing to do
there.
Yeah, there's not like a city. You think that like Green Bay, it's a city. No, it's not. It's just like a town with Lambeau.
But it's like if Chicago were just the Wrigleyville part, where it's like Wrigley's built into a neighborhood.
Yeah, kind of.
I hate it.
It's like, Lambeau is just like...
It's just there?
Yeah, like if you were just driving through a neighborhood and then you were like, what the hell?
I've had that impression with...
Sorry, Green Bay. I'm just... It's not my scene.
Maybe you visited. I mean, you were born and raised in there. Did you ever visit Eastern State Penitentiary, Steve, in downtown historic Philadelphia?
No, a bunch of... They do... They do the ghost tour type things every year. I never went to it though.
Okay, so I've done a couple of daylight tours of it, and I've gone there for the haunt portion. It's that same way. So you have downtown historic Philadelphia, and then a few blocks away, it's not very far. You walk up a street, and then to your right is a 200 to 300 year old castle.
Yeah,
that's a prison with random businesses and houses all right around it. Mm-hmm. It's just the weirdest thing ever. So Green Bay, you suck, is what we mean.
No, I like Green Bay. No, I don't. Why am I saying that?
You don't have to lie.
No, I don't have to lie.
Nobody's listening to this.
I liked Appleton. Appleton was, I thought it was
nice town to visit?
Yeah, I thought it was a cooler downtown. Well, there actually was like a downtown than Green Bay. Green Bay.
Oh, really? Like some shops and some life?
Yeah.
Whereas Green Bay is more of just a
Green
town.
Bay is Green Bay is like, you're like I said, driving through a neighborhood.
Do you have to own stock in the team to live there too?
I don't know.
Like fake stock?
I know they're pretty serious about their footballers there.
God. So stupid because it's like fake stock. You actually have no say. It's non-voting anything. Yeah. So you just get once a year. You get to go sit in the stadium, and listen to people talk about the team. Mm-hmm. Yay! Yeah. Thanks for your couple $100, idiots. You're all dumb. You're all part of it, TJ.
Hey,
my best friend's a fan, and he probably has a piece of paper stock. Dummy, Chris, you're so stupid. Terrible. Stupid team. Jeez. What do you want, a sorry? I'm not giving it to you. You suck. Town's stupid. Frozen tundra. Heated. It's heated. Feels like it's the 50s. Then it's frozen. Bunch of frauds.
Episode took a weird turn. Talked for 95% about babies.
Yeah.
And then the last 5% was us hurling haymakers at the town of Green Bay.
You know what we call that? That's a take for the road, Steve.
Oh, boy.
Well, hey, before you close up shop, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Can't be said enough.
So proud of you and Annette and baby girl Steve and Annette. X days old now.
Name to be revealed
next week.
1 week. 1 week from now.
Doing great. You'll have to download next Tuesday, the same time, same place, for all the details, because as we talked about, the side gig has no right to hear about this.
No, definitely not.
Do they even know Annette's pregnant?
No. I haven't told him yet.
Yeah, it's hard to interrupt, It's a bunch of branch-swinging, poop-throwing monkeys.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week. It's at Stephen Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Call or text your questions, comments, or concerns, 424-30-SK-POD, 424-307-5763. From this dad to the dad across the table from me, we are the Stephen Kyle Podcast, and we are signing off.
So talk to you next time.